This tutorial is designed to instruct teachers on how to create and submit a final PPfT SLO submission form at the end of the school year once you have post-tested all your students in your SLO. To begin, open up any internet browser. Enter SLO / into the address bar and click Enter. If you are on the Education Network in Austin ISD, then you should be directed to a login screen for the SLO database. Use your AISD username and password to log in. If you are not on the Education Network, then you will need to enter the URL address for the SLO database into the address bar instead. Next, you will be redirected to a school level landing page. Click on the appropriate school level that you work with. This will direct you to the main SLO database page where you can view your PPfT appraisal SLO, as well as your REACH SLOs if you are also at a REACH campus. Click on your PPfT appraisal SLO, click on the Create Final SLO Submission Form button on the top left-hand corner. Click OK on all pop-up windows that appear. We are now in the Teachers section of the final SLO submission form, where you can see your personal information and date near the top, followed by the student growth target formula that you decided upon at the beginning of the school year. This formula is what determines how much growth each student will need to improve from the beginning of the year to the end of the year in order to meet their goal. Most campuses and teachers are required to have their students make half the growth required to a perfect score, unless you already had a principal approval for a different growth target. Now that you have post-tested all of your students on the SLO, you can now calculate the actual student growth percentage achieved. To do so, find your SLO spreadsheet that you saved on your computer from the beginning of the year SLO submission. If you are using a formulated SLO spreadsheet, enter the post-test scores. The spreadsheet will then auto-calculate the actual growth and whether each student met their growth targets. If you are not using a formulated SLO spreadsheet, then you will need to manually calculate and enter all three columns. For students who withdrew from your classroom throughout the year, enter a WD or anything non-numeric on the post-test column. If you are using a formulated SLO spreadsheet, the WD will remove those students from your total number of students on your roster. Be sure to save the SLO spreadsheet on your computer again once you have entered your post-test data. In this example, 10 out of 14 students met their target, which equals 71% of the class. Most SLO spreadsheets already have this percentage calculated in the yellow box on the top right-hand corner. If you don't have a formulated SLO spreadsheet, with a calculator, take the number of students who met their individual growth targets and divide by the total number of students on the SLO. Back on the SLO database, select the percentage number 71 from the drop-down menu for your actual student growth percentage achieved. Then, in the teacher comments box, enter any additional information you want your appraiser to know about your SLO, the assessment, or the students. This box can also be used to request exemptions to your appraiser for certain individual students in rare situations, which may include students with attendance issues or extreme disabilities. If you are requesting an exemption, also provide a reason with detailed data for support. In this example, the teacher is requesting an exemption based on attendance issues. It will be up to your appraiser to approve or deny any exemption requests. For the final step, scroll to the bottom of the submission form to upload your attachments, which will only include a final completed SLO spreadsheet. Review your entire final SLO submission form and click the blue Submit button in the top left-hand corner to submit your results to your appraiser for verification. If your appraiser notices a revision to be made, then he or she will reset the submission form back to draft status and notify you, the teacher. Click OK on all pop-up windows that appear. You should now be able to see that your final PPfT SLO submission form is submitted for principal verification. This has been a tutorial on how a teacher can complete their final PPfT SLO submission form.